Well, exercise is the key to a long and healthy life, but the routine you did at 25 will not do the same for you at 55 and might even be putting you at risk. Fitness expert Lee Boyce joins me now with more. Lee, nice to see you as always.
Thanks. Nice to see you.
All right. Why is it that we need to adjust our workouts as we get older?
Well, I like to use the car analogy for it. If you buy a used car that's 20 years old, you know, it might be in great shape. You might be able to maintain it, but it's going to take a little bit more because of the fact that it's irrefutable. There's more clicks on the car. There's more kilometers on it. So our bodies are the same way. We go through wear and tear. We might not get injured acutely, but there's still a lot of wear and tear in our joints that we have to really take into consideration when it comes to what we do in the gym, whether it's lifting weights or training very intensely.
Yeah, I've also heard, keeping the car analogy going, that at 25 you get a little more tread on your tire than you do maybe at 45 or 55. And it's not just physical ailments, but it's stress as well, right?
Yeah, so that's the other thing. If you're 19 or 20 years old, your lifestyle might not have as many stressors involved in it yet compared to somebody who's 45. They might have a family, they might have a higher stress job and so on. Their sleep might not be as great either. So when you think about just the element of recovery and lifestyle, that's a huge factor when it comes to just how sustainable our exercise is going to be and how we're going to feel day to day.
And that's a great point, because stress not only takes a toll on you mentally, but it takes a toll on your body physically, doesn't it?
Right. The thing that it affects the most is the nervous system, and that's what we rely on the most when it comes to lifting things, training hard, training intensely, and lifting heavy weights too.
Okay, so what should our fitness goals, Lee, be as we get older?
Well, one thing that I like to tell my clients especially if they're older in age, like, you know, approaching 60 even, I like to say that maintenance is still a form of progression, because as the body begins to deteriorate, as it starts to break itself down and we start getting more tissue damage and so on, being able to lift the same amount or lift at the same work capacity that you did when you were 10 years prior, that's still a form of forward movement and progress.
Yeah, well, listen, you're preaching to the choir here, because I've felt that in the gym myself, humbly, in the last couple of years, and it is humbling to know that, listen, I can't quite press or curl as much weight as I did 5-7 years ago.
And that's okay. And the other thing is the rep ranges that we use in the gym, we have to remember that I'm sure it's common knowledge that strength training is something that's important now. So knowing that it doesn't mean you have to do 3 repetition maximums and 5 rep maximums and all those heavy loads. If you train for 10 reps, you're still strength training. Maybe not as optimally, but it's still doing a positive benefit for your joints and muscles.
Yeah, so just to adjust your mindset a little bit and have an honest conversation with yourself, be realistic.
An ego check is what it is, really, and it's going to keep you in the safe zone for a long time.
All right, fitness expert Lee Boyce. Lee, a pleasure as always, my friend.
Thank you.